All right, the next one we are gonna be making is one of my favorite dishes to order at a Chinese restaurant, beef chow fun. It's so easy to make that you can actually make it at home too. All right, so first I'm gonna start by marinating our meat. Here I have some shaved beef that I got at Trader Joe's. I believe it is just really thinly sliced ribeye, but you can definitely look for any kind of like thinly sliced meat at your local market. So to this, I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch, which will help tenderize our meat, and some oyster sauce and soy sauce. Just give it a good mix, making sure that the beef thoroughly absorbs the sauce. And because the beef slices are so thin, it doesn't take long to marinate this at all. All right, this looks good. Now I'll just set it aside for about 10 minutes. Okay, so while our beef is marinating, I'm gonna walk you through the sauce. To our bowl, I'm just gonna add most of the usual suspects. We have some oyster sauce. And like I said before, all of the ingredients and recipe is gonna be written out in the description box below. Some soy sauce. And this next ingredient is a little bit unusual, but I love it so much. Thick soy sauce, which is also sometimes called soy paste. And it comes in a jar like this. The difference between this and regular soy sauce is that it's quite a bit thicker as the name describes, but there's molasses in there. So it has like this sweet, almost smoky taste to it that I think is so good. And I use this in a lot of my Asian cooking, like marinating grilled pork, Vietnamese grilled pork. You guys can find a lot of recipes using that in my cookbook. Then we'll add a little bit of sugar and water just to thin it all out. Just mix everything together. Okay, and our sauce is done. Now let me walk you through the noodles. So for our noodles, I'm actually using fresh rice noodles that come in like these flat packs like this. This can be found in the refrigerated section at any Asian market. If you can't find those though, you can always use the dried rice noodles. I typically like to use the extra large ones just because I feel like beef chow fun should have those like thick, wide noodles. And this is the extra large size. When you cook it up, it definitely expands. But now to our fresh noodles, I'm just gonna cut it up into 1-inch thick slices. All right, this looks good. Then just kind of separate the pieces a little bit so that they don't clump together. When you cook it and heat it up, it'll separate by itself, but I'm just helping it along a little bit. And then for any large pieces like this, just kind of tear it off to give it like a rustic, homey feel. All right, this looks good, so let's do this. I have my wok here and I'm just gonna heat it up on high heat. All right, now that the wok is nice and hot, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of oil. Then I'll quickly sear the meat. It only takes about 3 to 4 minutes for this to cook up. You'll see the edges of the meat get kind of crispy and brown, and once you see that, just transfer it into another bowl, and then if there's any kind of tidbits left over on the wok, just scrape it off. All right, so let me walk you through the next steps real quick. So I have some green onions and I've separated them into a white part and a green part. I'm gonna be cooking up the white part first. So let me go ahead and heat up the wok again. Get it nice and hot. I'm gonna add our white green onions, ginger and garlic, stir fry it until it's nice and fragrant. And then we're gonna add our rice noodles in. Give it a quick stir just to soften it slightly, and then we're gonna add in our sauce. So once you've added in the sauce, mix it a little bit, just until it thoroughly coats the noodles. You'll see that the noodles are still kind of wet, but this is when we add the remaining ingredients. Our beef, a handful of bean sprouts, and the rest of our green onions. Give it a final mix just until everything looks kind of cooked and wilted. And let's give it a try. This looks so good. And here's our beautiful piping hot plate of chow fun. All right, let's give it a try. The rice noodles softened up and it soaked in all of the flavor because we were cooking in this smoking hot wok hay. It has a little bit of smoky flavor from the wok and also our thick soy sauce. It's balanced, the meat is super tender. It's just one of my favorite meals to have. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!